Today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace.
Head on over to the nearest hot warehouse you can find. Sit down and record a promo, or head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Sign up for your free trial, and when you do sign up for the service, get 10% off by using promo code ROGUE. Oh boy.
You're glistening.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't say glowing.
You're welcome.
You're glistening like,
I'm welcome.
like a slug in the sun.
I'm great.
Why did you buy that exactly?
Why wouldn't I buy a ghillie suit? I don't even remember what episode it was for, but I just remember thinking, like, better with a ghillie suit.
No, you didn't buy it for an episode. You just had it.
Oh, that's right. No, this was my Halloween costume. I hid in the bushes and scared children. It was delightful. They called me Tree Man. Oh, over there's Tree Man. And they're like, Tree Man, come out. And I wouldn't come out. And then they'd get close and I'd jump out and scare them. It was great.
You're like the Pennywise of your neighborhood.
We don't live in that neighborhood anymore.
I guess not. They drive you out with torches and pitchforks. Death to the Tree Man.
All right, Murphy, where did a ghillie suit first get used?
It was first used in like 1900 by the Lovat Scouts in Scotland.
I did not expect a real answer.
Boom, yeah, I got
That's
Wikipedia.
amazing.
Come on.
I would have thought it would have been much older than that, because the idea of just camouflaging yourself looking like a tree seems fairly elementary.
I think that's reasonable to say. There are probably earlier examples, but the ghillie suit is named for Ghillie Dhu. It's a fairy from Scottish folklore that would cloak herself in leaves and moss. There's also very many parallels to it across the world. Like in Australia, there's the Yowie suit, which is named
named for the Australian Bigfoot.
Exactly.
They call it Yowie. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Since then, it's evolved, and now it's really common. It's often used with bits of burlap or twine and augmented with flora from the area.
Yeah, so I got this on Amazon for like $50, and it seemed like a good value. I've had a lot of fun.
They're way less expensive than I anticipated.
Yeah, now I would imagine that there are different ghillie suits for different locales. Obviously, you're not going to wear this in winter Arctic weather, right?
Yeah, that's the key, is that you really have to have it blend in with your surroundings. That's the whole purpose, because the shape and everything is much better than traditional camouflage because it gives you a three-dimensional breakup of your silhouette.
So the question we're trying to evaluate is $50 is sort of our baseline. Do you want to buy a ghillie suit, or is it better to make one? I can imagine that it might be better to make one from scratch because you can make it entirely out of local flora, right?
It's completely customizable. Here, let me show you how you can make one at home. I just got these pants from Goodwill, and I got them because there's a lot of grayish tan colors out here on the property, and so I picked these pants out. They were like $6.
Blend with like the limestone in the area.
Exactly. And then a similarly colored long sleeve button-down shirt.
So you're already what, like $20 in at this point?
Less than 20. I mean, the shirt and pants were like, $6 each. I have so much fishnet at home now.
Why do you have so much fishnet at home?
Well, because I ordered it to make this.
Oh, okay. I thought you just had a lot of fishnet laying around.
You know me, old man Murphy, down getting fish on the docks.
And did you sew it to the sides here, or?
Yeah, this is all stitched in. I didn't sew it. I got my wife Allison to sew it.
Oh man, see, that's not fair.
She did most of this.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, you stitched all of the netting to the pants here. And then it was just a question of taking all of this jute in twine form, just came in a bunch of rolls, and I would just cut it off at varying lengths and just tying it to all of the netting.
So I grabbed these weeds just from the local area here. And you're just tying like overhand knots on there?
With the jute anyway, I was looping it through kind of like that, and then doing a knot that I don't know the name of.
I mean, really, if you just want it in there, you just sort of have to poke the loop through, and you just thread it through that eye hole, right? And then you just sort of tie it off like that. Does that look bad or good?
That's the thing. It doesn't have to look nice. It just has to look a little irregular, right?
Oh, it just occurred to me. I'm allergic to grass. So all of a sudden, the idea of wearing all this grass seems like a bad idea.
That's a really good point.
I hadn't thought about that.
I'm just gonna cheat and put some in the pocket.
Oh, that's smart. Everything mashes together such that you really don't have to do much in the way of tying. I'd imagine you'll shed some of this walking around, but I'm surprised at how much of it seems to just stay there.
Oh yeah, so this other grassy stuff is raffia.
Oh yeah, like you make Thanksgiving wreaths and stuff out of?
Exactly.
This covers up a lot of area really fast. Here we go.
Oh, we also have the hat.
Oh yeah, what'd you do for the hat? Because this one, the store-bought one, you get this hood.
Yeah, see.
It goes right over.
I just got a floppy hat and put the netting over that, and then threaded a bunch of raffia and some jute in there.
Upsides to buying it off the shelf. Somebody else does all this.
Yeah.
Downsides are you take whatever color scheme you get, and you don't get to really affect it, whereas homemade, you can make it out of the local everything.
Yeah.
But I got to imagine that this is just going to be dead and falling apart within 24, 48 hours.
Exactly, and to be honest, this was way more expensive than I anticipated.
How expensive was this?
All of these materials with the raffia and all of the jute, and I still didn't have enough jute, it was about 130 bucks.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So this is like 2.5 times more expensive. Here's the real question. How much time did it take?
It took a lot of time. It was 12 hours.
Okay, so if conservatively, we say you're worth $10 an hour and your wife is worth $10 an hour, we are now up to like a $650.
We're in sweatshop territory. It was ridiculous.
Oh
And
my
I thought,
gosh.
oh yeah, I'm gonna knock out this ghillie suit. I'm gonna make it over the weekend. I'll be ready to shoot on Sunday. Creeping on into the night, Netflix was like, hey, are you still watching? Yes, I'm still watching.
So I guess if you don't have a ghillie suit,
Yeah.
if you're in a MacGyver situation, you're up in the woods, you got nothing but time.
Yeah.
I assume you can make something like this.
The benefits to this are if you already have the supplies, great, and customizability to make it more like your terrain.
This will have to be a totally subjective test to see how good either of these work. Maybe both of them work equally.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Trevor, thank you for joining us.
No, absolutely.
In fact, part of me wonders if in a perfect world, Trevor wouldn't even know what either of us were dressed as, but we don't have that. That looks much better than I had thought.
Same.
My big question is whether or not the color palette is going to leap out.
I know, the green is a little too much. You can often dye your jute. That's what a lot of people recommend.
Dye Your Jute should be a band name.
Oh, it should also be noted that I'm wearing a lot of jute
Yeah?
and a lot of raffia. What did we learn about jute?
Is that yak hair? Are they just super flammable creatures?
Oh, it's very flammable.
I'm so flammable
Oh
right
my
now.
God, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Very important. These synthetic fibers, a little less flammable.
Yeah.
So here's the game plan. We'll go hide. There's about a half mile of trails back here. We're gonna be within 30 feet, like about 10 yards of the trail.
Okay.
And all of this has to be subjective. There's no prize for catching us, but we need you to sort of note how differently, if you're able to see us, how obvious each of us is.
But you better make sure that you see me.
Oh, geez, he's got a blade. All right, well, here, we're gonna disappear into the wild. Yowie! Ouch! Yo, where my jute at?
Jute en route.
Jute en route! You match these light limestone colors, which makes me feel like you should be kind of closer to the pond.
Oh yeah, probably so, right? There's lots of limestoney grays and tans out there.
Well, see, yeah, this doesn't look too far off, though.
Yeah.
Like with the dead leaves, so that's what you want to look for, is a spot with dead leaves. It's a random grave site, don't worry about it. Should I be hugging a tree or?
Or in one.
Oh, that's a great idea. It's so early on the trail, I'm afraid to do it, but how good
This is good.
does this look, right?
Oh, that looks
Is that
great.
okay.
Yeah. You probably want to get like a little farther back, I would
Yeah.
think. Just a little bit.
Well,
You don't want to make it too hard.
whoops. Hey, turns out ghillie suits, a little clumsy. Also, they pick up sticks.
That's
Which I
good
guess-
though, right?
Which I guess works, yeah. You
You're
just
just
put that there.
aggregating more material to disguise yourself with.
This will be just like 5 feet off the path.
That looks really good.
Yeah?
I think so.
Do you think you'll see it?
Maybe.
Let's find a spot for you. More twigs. Oh my God, I pick up all the twigs. Look at this.
That's a branch.
I picked up a whole tree. Na 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 ghillie suit katamari. Nah, look at this. Look at this branch I picked up. I feel like later in the trail would also be better because he's gonna run out of attention span. Look at this, I picked up another damn tree. This is awful. Okay, I'm giving advantage to the homegrown suit right now. Damn it, I can't even through.
Man,
Whatever.
I really thought I was going to be the one snagging on everything.
Okay, now at this point, legit, Jason, you are blending in very well with this background.
Awesome. What do you think? Should I go just like straight ahead?
Here, try getting behind this tree, maybe? You're gonna wanna be someplace comfortable. Like maybe even just lay down. Oh, there you go. If you lay all the way down, holy, yeah, dude. Can you make that work for a while?
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I barely see your face and that's it. I say we risk it.
You like it?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
Would it be crazy for me to be like just on the other side? Then it's all down to this one moment where he passes us.
Oh, that's actually good, because if he sees one of us, he's not gonna think that the other one is that close.
Exactly, exactly. Maximize our chances here.
This is super itchy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of green cover. Yeah, here we go. Maybe I can. I'm snagged. That's gonna be my downfall.
From here, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah?
I would not be able to see you at all.
Okay,
Now my vision is pretty occluded. Yeah, that looks damn good.
okay. Oh, of course I won't do Face ID. Trevor, you there? You have the all clear. Godspeed.
All right, you sons of I'm coming to find you.
Good luck. And by good luck, I mean bad luck. Never find us.
So we're taking a right through the path, right? Correct? Okay. So it's kind of biased because I know their colors, but with it being kind of dead, grassy area, it might be harder to see Jason than it is Brian. Do I go all tracker-like and look for broken branches where they may went off the path? I'm thinking there's too much sunlight here. It would want a little bit more shadow because you might pick up on the different types of green. I'm wondering, are they laying down or are they standing up? Because I would think with the trees, they would want to blend in and stand up and maybe as thin as possible and try to match the surroundings because they're really tiny, thin, frail looking trees. Also, I think that Brian he reminds me of Moss Man or Swamp Thing right now. See, it gets difficult because everything starts looking the same. That's what kind of makes it hard because, I mean, literally everything just starts blending in together. Now, I don't know much about nature, but I do know that typically cell phones aren't laying on the ground next to the person that's right there.
If you would have stayed to the path,
I saw you and then I saw the cell phone.
All right, well then that's fair enough. All right, so what was the giveaway? Just the placement?
All of a sudden the sun stopped.
Oh, that's wild. You saw the dappling all around, but the sunlight got absorbed by the ghillie suit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a good tip.
Because I could see like little spots here and there, and then all of a sudden it was out of the corner of my eye. And then it was just a blob, and I was like, wait a minute.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Then I saw your cell phone.
Oh, dude, no, that's great, yeah. I tried to put it in my pocket, but I couldn't get it. Like, I'll be surprised if I can get out. I'm so enmeshed in here.
Now, I think he's gonna be harder to find. Did you guys really hide right by each other?
God damn it.
I was so close.
Again, it was the sun.
No kidding. I'll tell you what, though, you do blend in really good.
Yeah, he does. However, if that stuff was a little bit more dead,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have spotted him. It was just brighter than the rest of it around him.
Dude, that's great, though, that you walked right past him the first time. So, subjectively, of the two, was one substantially better or worse than the other?
Well, in this terrain, his was better just because of the
Really?
drier. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, when you're trying to look for it, everything starts blending together and it's all starting to look the same.
Yeah.
With his, it's the same color. So I would imagine I would have a harder time finding him had I not known what he was wearing.
Okay, but would you say his suit was $400 better than my suit?
Definitely not.
So if you weren't looking for us, what are the odds you would have just walked right on by?
Over 50%. I think they're pretty good.
Take those odds. We got 2 of us. One of us could get found and killed.
We were really thinking you would see Brian or see me first and then just move on thinking that
we didn't
were
think
down
you'd
the
put it
road.
together that we were both in the same spot. That was pretty good.
That's kind of like Battleship when you put them together, hoping that they won't figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes, doable, possibly good, depending on location, not worth it.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you can customize it to look like your surroundings, look exactly like your surroundings, great. That might be better, but you gotta have the time and the money to invest.
Tell you what, dude, just walking around, before too long, I'll be nothing but the surroundings. This is ridiculous.
You're gonna get taken back by the forest.
Yeah, no, let's go back to civilization.
I'm just glad my judgment wasn't impaired when I was doing this.
Well, Mr. Murphy, as I live and breathe, we may be sitting here in an unair-conditioned warehouse in the middle of Central Texas, but I suspect that you've not yet heard the good word of Squarespace.
Preach it to me, Brother Brushwood.
Whether you have a blog, portfolio, or any other kind of website, they make you look professional. Even if you wanted to run an online store, you could do all of your commerce solutions through Squarespace. They have designs that will inspire.
You don't say.
I did say it, and I'm offended that you would deny it. Oh, I demand.
Sir!
Sorry, what I meant to do was this. Jesus Christ, is it ever hot in this warehouse?
I would say that, my good man, that it sucks.
Well, if only people wanted to cool their britches for just a moment, they could head on over to squarespace.com/rogue, sign up for a free trial, and when they do sign up for the service, use promo code ROGUE at checkout. That's ROGUE. We don't want you to misspell it because otherwise we won't be able to afford any air conditioning to make this a nice, crisp, cool, cucumber-like cubicle.
Yes, indeed. Help us stay in business by supporting. Why am I British now? What happened?
Like, we will fight websites on the shores. We will fight them at the thermometer. We will fight them at the design process.
I was like, oh wait, we're Southern.
We will never surrender. We will never forget. Squarespace.com/rogue.
I think we're having a heat stroke.
It's fine.
Man, I would really suck as the narrator of a nature show. 'Cause all I'm thinking is I like indoor plumbing and air conditioning.